All right, everybody, welcome back. So you know how much we love geeking out over the latest tech, especially when it comes to photography, right?
Absolutely.
And for anyone who's ever hit the trails with their Pixel 9 Pro, get ready to have your mind blown because we're diving into some seriously cool camera features today.
Oh yeah, this is next level stuff.
Right, we're talking about those hidden gems that can totally elevate your hiking photography game. And the best part is, we're getting all these insider tips straight from the source, Google's own blog. The key word. They recently published this awesome article about taking your pixel photography to new heights, literally.
And it's not just about fancy filters or anything like that. This is about tapping into the Pixel 9 Pro's computational photography superpowers, things you might not even realize your phone could do.
Okay, so speaking of superpowers, let's talk group photos for a sec.
Oh yeah, the eternal struggle.
Seriously, right? Trying to wrangle everyone together, get the framing right, make sure no one's blinking, and oh yeah, capture that stunning backdrop you hiked all that way to see. It can be a recipe for disaster. But this article, it starts off strong with a feature that's pure genius, Add Me.
Oh, it's a game changer, right?
Totally. No more awkward timer sprints or trying to flag down a stranger to take the picture for you.
Or ending up with someone always getting cut out. It's the worst.
The worst. But with Add Me, you can actually stitch together multiple images so everyone gets to be in the shot, enjoying the view and each other's company without any of that stress.
And you know what I love about all of these Pixel features? They just make everything so much easier so you can focus on actually enjoying the experience.
Preach. It's like less time fiddling with your phone, more time soaking in those incredible views. But you know what always gets me? Trying to capture those epic landscapes in a way that actually does them justice.
Right, like how do you fit all of that grandeur into a single photo?
Exactly. And sometimes you don't realize until you're back home scrolling through your photos that the composition is just a little got off.
Oh, I've been there. It's like this looked way cooler in person.
100%.
Yeah.
But the article talks about this awesome feature in Magic Editor called Auto Frame that basically acts like your personal photo assistant.
Okay, tell me more. This sounds cool.
It uses AI to analyze your composition. You know, like where you've placed the horizon line, the rule of thirds, all that good stuff.
Right.
And get this, it actually suggests ways to improve it.
No way. So it's like having a photography expert whispering tips over your shoulder.
Exactly. But here's the key. It shows you different framing options, so you still have complete control over the final look. It's not about the AI taking over. It's about giving you the tools to enhance your own artistic vision.
So you're not just stuck with whatever the AI thinks looks best. You can choose.
Precisely. It's like having a little helper nudge you in the right direction. But ultimately, you're still the artist.
That's the perfect way to put it. And you know, that really sums up what I love about the Pixel camera in general. It doesn't try to do everything for you. It's like it gives you the tools to take your own photos to the next level.
Okay, so speaking of taking things to the next level, the article also raves about the Pixel 9 Pro's Super Res Zoom, which, as you might guess, is all about capturing those crisp, detailed landscape shots from a distance.
Yeah, that zoom is no joke. It's amazing how far you can zoom in and still get a clear shot.
Right. But let's be real. We've all had that moment where we get home, look at a photo, and think, ugh, I wish I'd zoomed in just a tad more on that mountain peak.
Ugh, don't you hate it when that happens?
The worst. It's like buyer's remorse, but for photography.
Right.
But guess what? Google has a solution for that too.
Wait, seriously, don't tell me, is it?
It's called Zoom Enhance, and it is about to blow your mind.
Okay, spill the beans. What is it? What's this Zoom Enhance all about?
So it's not just some basic digital zoom that makes everything pixelated when you try to zoom in after the fact.
Yeah, we've all been there. Not a good look.
Right. This is different. Zoom Enhance uses AI to intelligently fill in those missing details so you can actually zoom in and even crop after you've taken the picture.
Wait, hold on. So what you're saying is I can essentially go back in time, photographically speaking, and reframe my shots. That's insane.
I know, right? Like, imagine you're trying to get a shot of a mountain goat perched precariously on a cliff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm picturing it.
With Zoom Enhance, you can focus on just getting a clear shot in the moment, knowing you can fine-tune the framing later without sacrificing quality.
Wow, that changes everything. No more stressing about getting the zoom perfect in the field. I can just fix it later.
Precisely. It really frees you up to be more present in the moment, enjoying the hike, and letting your pixel work its magic.
Okay, that's seriously impressive. But let's say you've captured these amazing photos and you're thinking beyond just sharing them on social media. What about printing them, making them wall-worthy, you know?
Oh, I love that. And you're right, the article does touch on that. Resolution is everything when it comes to printing And they highlight the Pixel's Pro controls.
Right, because those little details really matter when you're blowing up a photo.
Absolutely. And one of the key things they emphasize is shooting in 50MP mode.
Okay, that makes sense. Bigger is better when it comes to printing, right?
Exactly. More megapixels, more detail, sharper prints. But they also mention something else that I have to admit has always kind of intimidated me. RAW format.
Ah, yes, raw. It can seem a little mysterious.
The little. So for those of us who might not be professional photographers, break it down for us. What's the deal with RAW and why should we care?
Okay, so think of a raw file like a digital negative.
Okay.
It's like the raw ingredients of your photo, giving you so much more control during editing compared to a standard JPEG, which is already kind of pre-processed by your phone.
Interesting. So more to work with.
Exactly. RAW captures tons more information, so you can really fine-tune things like white balance and exposure in post-processing without degrading the image quality.
So for those folks who are really into photo editing and want that extra level of control, RAW is the way to go.
Precisely. It opens up a world of possibilities.
I love it. You know, it's funny, we talk about all this incredible technology, but the article also touches on something that I think is so relatable. You know, those times when you've witnessed something truly spectacular in person,
Yes.
but for whatever reason, the photo just doesn't quite capture the magic you experienced.
Oh, tell me about it. It's the worst, right? Like, how am I supposed to show this to people and have them actually get it?
Right. It's like trying to describe the most amazing sunset to someone who wasn't there. Words just don't do it justice. And the article uses this really relatable example, a sunset photo that, according to the author, totally missed the mark. The colors weren't right. It didn't capture the awe-inspiring feeling they remembered.
Oh, I feel that. It happens to the best of us.
Right. But this is where Google's Reimagine feature comes in.
Reimagine. Okay, I'm intrigued. This sounds like the solution I've been waiting for.
So it's part of Magic Editor, and basically it lets you actually replace elements in your photos to better reflect what you remember seeing.
Whoa, hold on. Replace elements, like digitally manipulate the photo after it's been taken.
Yes. And the article gives this great example. They talk about replacing bare tree branches with lush, tall pine trees to match how the author remembered that specific spot looking.
Okay, so it's like, instead of just saying, oh, you should have been there, it looked way cooler in person, I can actually show them how much cooler it looked.
Exactly. And it's not just limited to replacing things. You can also adjust the lighting, the sky, all sorts of stuff to better match your memory of the moment.
That's incredible. It's like having a little bit of digital artistry at your fingertips.
It really is. And you know, as cool as all of this is, it got me thinking, what about when you're hiking later in the day? You know, when the lighting gets trickier, like around sunset or even after dark if you're trying to capture a sky full of stars?
Right, that's when things get really challenging for even the best smartphone cameras. You're either battling shadows or dealing with a ton of noise in low light.
Exactly. But fear not, my friend, because the Pixel has a secret weapon for that too. Night sight.
Oh yeah, night sight. I've heard good things, but I haven't had a chance to really play around with it yet.
Well, get ready to be impressed, because night sight is how Pixel handles low-light photography, and they've upped their game even further. It's now available for panoramic shots.
Wait, seriously, that's a game changer. I mean, being able to capture an entire breathtaking sunset or a sky bursting with stars in one epic panoramic shot without it looking like a grainy mess, that's amazing.
I know, it's like having professional-grade equipment right in your pocket.
And speaking of panoramas, didn't they also improve the regular panorama mode?
They did. The article mentions that as well. They've made some tweaks to make those wide shots even better.
Okay, Google is seriously on fire with these camera updates. So like, you want amazing photos, no matter the time of day or how wide you need to shoot, we got you covered.
For real. This deep dive is full of surprises.
Yeah.
But you know, what really stands out to me about this article isn't just the tech itself.
Oh, I totally agree.
It's how they focus on the emotional impact these features can have, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the Pixel 9 Pro has amazing tech specs, but at the end of the day, it's about how those features actually help you better capture the feeling and memories of your experiences, right?
Yeah. And I think that's what good photography is all about. Capturing the emotion of a moment, not just what it looked like.
I totally agree. Like, yeah, I can try to describe how vibrant the sunset was from that mountaintop, but being able to actually show people with a crystal clear panoramic shot taken on my Pixel, that's a whole other ballgame.
It's like sharing a little piece of the experience itself.
Exactly. And that's what these Pixel features help you do. They bridge that gap between what you witnessed and what your photos can convey.
I love that. It's about telling your unique story through images.
Yes. Okay, so for our listeners who are ready to up their pixel photography game, let's recap some of these power moves. We've got Add Me for those stress-free group shots, Magic Editor with its auto frame, and Reimagine tools for perfecting composition and even replacing elements in an image. Zoom Enhance so you can nail that perfect framing even after you've taken the photo. High-resolution options for printing, and of course, Night Sight, and the revamped panorama mode to conquer those challenging low-light shots. Did I miss anything?
I think you covered it all. That's a seriously impressive arsenal of tools for any photographer, especially on a phone.
Right. And, reading this article made me realize I've barely scratched the surface of what my Pixel can do. It's like finding out your smartphone can also make gourmet coffee a total game changer.
I know, right? It really makes you see your phone in a whole new light.
Okay, so for anyone listening who's maybe getting ready to head out on a hike, what would you say is the most important takeaway from all of this? What should they keep in mind to really make the most of their Pixel's photography superpowers?
For me, it all boils down to intentionality. It's fantastic that the Pixel 9 Pro is packed with all of these awesome features, but the real magic happens when you use them thoughtfully. It's about understanding how those tools can help you capture not just a photo, but the essence of your experience.
It's about telling your unique story through images. And this article, it does such a great job of breaking down all these tools. But you know what it got me thinking about?
What's that?
Okay, so the article focuses a lot on landscapes, right?
Well,
Which makes sense.
oh yeah, for sure. The grand vistas and all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those epic views are a huge part of what draws a lot of us to hiking in the first place. But it got me thinking, what about all the other incredible things you encounter on a hike that might deserve a photographic close-up?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we can get so caught up in those sweeping panoramas that we forget about all the fascinating details right there at our feet.
Right. Like, imagine using super res zoom to capture the intricate patterns on a butterfly's wings or the way the sunlight filters through a cluster of leaves. Or we talked about how Zoom Enhance can help you reframe a shot after you've taken it. But I bet it would be amazing for capturing those super quick wildlife moments, too.
Totally. Think about it getting a clear shot of a hummingbird in flight, maybe a close-up of a lizard perfectly camouflaged against a rock.
That's such a cool idea. And actually, even with night sight. I know we talked about starry skies and sunsets, but what about using it to photograph nocturnal animals? Or like capture the way the moonlight hits a spider web?
Whoa, that's amazing. I never would have thought to use my phone's camera for that.
Right. It's like this whole other world of photography opens up when you start thinking about these features in new ways.
I'm totally inspired now. This article has given us an amazing set of tools and techniques, but you're right, it's up to us to get out there and actually use them, experiment a little, see the familiar in a new light,
100%. And who knows, maybe this will spark a whole new passion for some of our listeners. Macro photography, wildlife photography, astrophotography, the possibilities are endless. Well, folks, that about wraps up our deep dive on the Pixel 9 Pro's incredible camera features. If you're planning a hike anytime soon, make sure the Pixel is charged up and ready to go. And most importantly, get out there, experiment, have fun, and don't be afraid to try something new.
Capture those memories, explore your creativity, and share your unique perspective with the world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, happy trails, and may your photos be forever frame-worthy.